Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with the theme of monster runs, this time using Monsters Inc. I'm going to be making use of this Sully and Mike combination. I've seen some videos out there, so most people probably know how these things work. But I wanted to show you that this can get 1 million damage, and it's really about setting up the team for it. And yeah, it's definitely a team that I would recommend if you're a whale. This is one that can really help your club. And so yeah, so I just want to jump into it. There is a bit more to it. I think most people settle for like 700, around the 700k mark in terms of the runs, maybe a little bit less, but I wanted to show you that this can reach 1 million, and it really is to do all with the setup. So first things first, let's dive into the kits of the two characters we care about. We obviously care about the setup, don't get me wrong, and all these characters play a part, and I'll explain why. But first things first, let's jump into Mike and Sully. So Mike you're going to be a leader, and it's basically it's all centered around fear. He's got these two moves which effectively, one will give himself tactics, and give a teammate these kind of helpful effects based on their role. I'll explain what you do with that when you get into battle, but effectively what you're going to be doing with this is using it on himself, because he's going to be positioned next to Sully and he's going to give himself evasion, which is important, and I'll show you in the video. I'll show you in the footage a little bit why. And then this is the other move. The main reason for Mike here is really to obviously have his leadership enable Sully, but also it's for landing fear and being able to call Sully, because on his basic he can call assisting teammates. It will not pretty much call Sully every time, and give them offense up. You don't really want to be using Randall with this team, because you effectively want Sully to be the one who's called, and to be honest, Randall doesn't really do much. He doesn't really add much to this Monsters Inc. team. So anyway, that's Mike. As for Sully, so Sully is the big damage dealer here. He's built for raids. He's been reworked specifically for raids, and it's all to do with just his offense, his power, everything. And it's these two abilities. It's his basic, and then it's his big boot punch. So if we talk about his basic real quick, he's going to deal 50% bonus damage per hero and Monsters Inc. teammate, and in raids gain 100%. So this is going to be, you're going to be using this basic a lot, and it's going to easily wipe the summons and do massive damage on the main Titan himself. And then we've got his massive move, which is he's going to give himself crit power up if Mike is a teammate. He's going to do 50% bonus damage per hero and Monsters Inc. teammate. And then he's going to have this 150% bonus damage if opponent has fear, which is why Mike is important. He can also land fear himself, but Mike kind of gives him the potency to land it against the Tornado Titan. You'll see why we run our battles both at the same time against the Tornado and the Rock Titan, so we still have to deal with the tenacity, which is why I prefer. It's why I prefer using Mike to land the fear. But moving to the wider team, so you can see these units here, and they all play a really important role. You can also see that I use Shadow. I'll explain why. So Sully effectively deals bonus damage per hero and Monsters Inc. teammate. Wendy is here. She's going to shadow Mike and only Mike, which is really important. Wendy's kind of pretty crucial to this setup, really, because if you're shadowing Mike, you can effectively just call Sully's massive basic on the mini tornadoes and against the main Tornado Titan, which does huge amounts of damage. Esme is here because she brings out the summon and also can clear the tornadoes. I'll explain a common mistake with Esme with this lineup. Most people really want to just get rid of those summons immediately with her. You actually don't want to use that ability. You don't want to use the dance ability straight away. You want to use that kind of when you can't really clear the mini tornadoes with Sully. And then Kristoff is really here again for his summons, and he can also taunt and take away the pain from Sully, because Sully is going to taunt here, and you know, he's really survivable, but he's not that survivable. You actually do need to protect him a little bit, so that's why I use Kristoff. And then as for the spells, Shadow is fairly obvious. Now, Shadow is needed for so many teams. You'll have seen with the Eve team yesterday. If you're working towards that team, Shadow's probably better to go with Eve. You can also use Shadow with the Machine Gun Hades team, but I kind of look at the spells and where you're going to get the most benefit from them. Now, if you don't have Eve, you're going to get more benefit from using Shadow with Sully if you have this team, because you can add probably about 300-400k more damage by using Shadow with this team. With the Machine Gun Hades team, you might be lucky to get another 200k damage at most, really. You're sort of hoping that Hades gets all these buffs from Pain and Panic, and then you can constantly Shadow Pain and Panic and hit for massive damage. But honestly, the Machine Gun Hades team isn't as effective as it was when we were doing T4 at Heroic. It's just I haven't found it as useful, and I feel like Hades is always targeted by the Tornado Titan, at least when I'm using him against the Tornado Titan. I sometimes use him against the Rock Titan, and I've got a video to show later on that. Anyway, I've waffled on enough. Let's just jump into the footage. Alright, so jumping into the footage, you'll see I was bringing in Trigger's Tower here. Trigger's Tower really does nothing. I thought an extra summon might count towards the damage for Sully, but it doesn't in this instance, so bit of a pointless spell. But anyway, here we go. So first move is bring out Esme's summon. Don't want to use her, obviously, a special ability there. And then that's the big important one, is actually giving Mike himself the evasion with his own ability. So the important reason, I'm going to just stop there. The important reason for this is because we're not using Esme's dance right now. You're only going to be able to legitimately clear 3 of the tornadoes, so it's going to leave 1 open, and that 1 is going to be used and going to be going to hit into Sully. Now, if Mike was behind, he'd probably die. Sully is fortunately going to be able to survive, just really by the skin of his teeth. In other runs, I've actually had it where he doesn't lose as much health, as you'll see. But anyway, using Kristoff to get out a troll just for another summon. The trolls are pretty good actually for healing like your Mike shadows. So and now here we go. We're going to use the 2 shadows just to clear the mini tornadoes, and Sully nearly dies there, but I can say with assurance that he won't. Normally it's unlucky if he does get hit twice. Now using Kristoff to taunt and healing up Sully here with the troll, and then just biding my time really. Want to get more summons out. I want to basically max the board of summons before I use his big door punch. Now with Esme, I'd normally use her dance ability here, but as you can see, Sully actually took out one of the mini tornadoes with his kind of jump ability from using fear. So I was thinking I could probably get another cycle, and that's what I went for. So I didn't use Esme's dance. I got quite lucky because Wendy can also call basic attack from Sully, and obviously it's random where it lands, but fortunately landed on one of the mini tornadoes here. And then trying to decide whether to use his fear ability yet, and just keep this going. So now my spells are out. I was deciding whether to use Shadow straight away. Didn't in this instance. Just trying to put work in really on the tornado. before, because if you think about it, guys, like, he's going to get empowered. It's better if you use that big punch just before he gets empowered, because you'll get the run going longer here. And now this is where I want to put Fear on the board. I've got 2 turns of Fear now, so it's really about getting Sully into position to basically hit. He's got offense up, he's ready to go. That's unfortunate. I'll pause it there very quickly. I wasn't really keeping track of the insta-kill. Now, with that insta-kill, it could have gone for Sully. Obviously, kind of best case scenario was it going for Wendy here. But it also means that now I'm going to actually have 1 less unit on the board. So his big move isn't going to be max damage potential. But I'm going to use... this is why I tried to trigger his tower. But this is finally when I'm going to use Esme. And here we go. Sully's primed and ready to go. And there you go. 466k. Right. Now, it's purely about getting as much damage from Sully on the Titan as you can. I could have probably used that on the main Titan, but, you know, just using all of Mike's shadows, really, just to call those basic attacks. Remember, the more summons he has on the field, the more damage he's going to do. You're going to see a massive basic attack now with Sully, because of all these buffs that he's got. He's got literally all the buffs you need. Now, at this point as well, I'm just going to ignore all of these summons and just keep working at the main Tornado Titan. You can see I only crit on the first move. It's actually, you know, this you can have bigger runs here if you want. And I was kind of unlucky to lose him there, but at this point it's a good run. I'm feeling quite confident with this, and you'll see in a second this does 1 million. So there you go, just over 1 million, another 1 million team for you guys to digest and to make use of. I do appreciate that Mike is a non-free-to-play character, but we are looking to find teams that can really go above and beyond empowered, and this is just one of them. The Tornado Titan is also one of the, I'd say, it's in heroic you slow down. Your runs are much slower on the Tornado Titan and the Rock Titan. Our club typically takes a couple of hours to take down both the Tornado Titan and the Rock Titan at the same time. The Lava Titan and the Ice Titan go down really quickly. So to get a 1 million run on the Tornado Titan is really difficult. And this is probably where I'd use this team, basically. But you can also use different summons here, like you can use Calhoun to get a beacon out. That will count as a hero summon, I believe. And yeah, this is a really fun team to use. This is one of my favorites to use, and you know, it can do big damage in a small amount of time. That was just a 4-minute run. The video is obviously a bit longer because I had other runs within here that I'm gonna hopefully put together in another video shortly. But this is the one I wanted to show you today, and it's another 1 million run, another huge monster team for this raid, and hopefully it will help you guys and get clubs closer to finishing this raid. So anyway, just wanted to share that today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.